It's crunch time. And very similar, actually, to, very similar to Tuesday. I'm doing Honey Smack cereal again.
So you need to drink them, eat them before you start alerts.
Oh, God.
But not before this.
Thermodynamics. 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 Skipping this one. Thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. Mix.
It's too early.
I had to skip one because I was like, that one's gonna mess up. Yeah, a wake-up call. Yeah, that's how I feel. Oh my God, that was from Cool Al. Nothing says good morning like I do fine on the song. I mess up just reading it. Nothing says good morning like Thurbo.
It doesn't.
Have a Thurbo. Morning. Hope everyone's morning is going all right. Brandon says, okay, now we can say it's breakfast stream. It is a family-sized
here
box.
This morning.
Hmm?
Emil's here this morning.
Hey, Emil. I scrolled up, and I accidentally read Samarolion's message as Emil's message. So, and that says, speaking as a physics student, and I was like, I'm sorry? It's like, Emil studied physics? How did I not know this? Emil's message was 2 above, so somehow actually awake for this. Anyway. We have a family-sized box of Honey Smacks. You might be thinking... You may be asking yourself, how did I get here? It is too many Honey Smacks. It is too many, but I'm consuming them.
That was a large spoonful. That was like 1.5 inches tall.
Is that how they mention, or is that how they
You just
measure?
have a large mouth.
Well, at least I'm not using a soup spoon, because I could, and I have before. I'm just saying. Anyway, this is gonna take me like a few minutes, but
Well, eat your Honey Smacks.
I think they're growing on me a little bit. I don't like the way they look. That's actually my biggest complaint. You know what they look like? They look a little like coffee beans.
And so you don't like how it looks?
No, well, I mean, I don't want to eat an entire bowl of coffee beans. Who am I, Jeff? But there's like a bunch of coffee beans and they're all like really... They're not the color of coffee beans. They're like light, but they all have like this one... It looks like they have a pit. There's like a little pit on every single thing. So that's just a little
Look
weird.
how tall this is.
Mallory, I don't need the judgment. I need to finish the cereal. You're not helping me eat the cereal, so I gotta eat the cereal. Look at beans. Alright. Beans. I actually haven't had a chance to update, well, it's somewhat deliberate. I haven't updated the bean list yet. Well, it's not called the bean. I haven't updated this bean list. This is still the
Last month's bean list.
last month's bean list. Just because as part of the video
Lindrazel it is now. Yep.
bean list, as part of the video I released for Patreon, I have a new system going forward, and I wanted to give people time to update their names. So I'll update it for
Come here, Gippy.
Tuesday most likely. Anyway.
Oh, that chair's not
enjoy-
close enough.
Enjoy the beans.
Come here, Gippy.
Quick shout out and a huge thank you to our bean list. Thank you, Cobalt. At the $20 level, you unlock the bean tier.
Hi, Gibbies.
It's fine.
Gippy, don't you want snuggles?
There's so much cereal here. God.
Gippy. Oh, he's taking his
So
helper
that says
chair.
Honey Smacks are sugar puffs.
And in the UK? Right?
Yes. So, I always thought that these were called Sugar Smacks.
Come here.
And I think they used to be called Sugar Smacks. Did we learn this recently? Did I forget?
Gotcha.
You almost spilled our coffee doing that, but you didn't, so you get a pass.
Hi.
Sugar Puffs got renamed Honey Monster Puffs. God, there's
Snuggle time. Oh, sorry. Did I offend
There's
you by
too
leaning
much,
forward?
there's too much cereal lore, which I think is the problem. Also, hi, Jules. Or good evening. The Honey Monster. Yeah, like, cereal has such a long history, and it's been renamed like multiple times, and it's known as different things in different places. It's too complicated. All cereals should just have like a number. Like, what cereal are you
I
eating?
like cereal 4.
Yeah. Oh my God, how great would that be? You go to the store and you're like, oh.
And they're in numerical order.
Yeah, you're like, where is cereal 8? Actually, no, that's too many cereals. There's just like 5 cereals and that's it. Most of the cereals are the same anyway. They have varying levels.
Is Oops All Berries like 5.2? Do you hear this?
Yeah. He's a good boy.
Thanks, Chaz.
Chaz didn't like the idea until Mouse said they'd be in numerical order on the store shelf. Now he loves it.
It'd be easy to find it. Sometimes you're like, gosh, where are the Lucky Charms?
They're not even in alphabetical.
No, they're like 8.
They're not even in alphabetical order in the store, are they?
No, they're by brand. So it's like
Oh
General
my
Mills
God.
and
I hate that.
whatever the other one is.
How are you supposed to find something?
You have to know. Kellogg's, thank you. It's way too early.
I don't like that.
We need a Dewey Decimal System for the grocery store.
It seems like a lot. I'm just saying alphabetize the cereal. Alphabetize the cereal. It'll be alright.
When I worked at a grocery store as a pricing clerk, we had codes for where everything was in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had a price come through that changed, like let's say it was on like the smallest size of Cheez-Its box, it would print out from my printer and I would get
like
it.
a normal Cheez-Its box or
Like
like
the smallest-
a fun size?
No, like a normal size.
Okay.
Because there's like normal and family.
And
Or,
fun
like-
size.
Normal.
Okay.
So I'd get the little thing for the shelf and I'd be like, oh, 8L. And it'd be aisle 8 and it'd be section L.
Oh my God, there's sections?
My store had that, but the lady who was my boss who was in charge of pricing at my store set it up. She's like, it never even used to have the aisle on it. She's like, you had to know where each individual thing was in the store and then go find it. And she's like, and imagine doing this for like, we have like a Whole Foods, natural foods aisle. So it'd be like the Amy's, is it Amy's? Like mac and cheese or whatever, like the natural food brands. But you'd see the mac and cheese and you'd go to where the other mac and cheese were and you'd be like, where is this mac and cheese? So she set it up.
For the most part. For the most part. I find it fairly easy to find things in our grocery store.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, there's a thing and you're like, where is this? And then you check multiple aisles. And then you recheck. And then you ask an employee for help, and they're like, it's in this aisle. And you're like, I was in this aisle twice.
Well, we use an app for our grocery list, and you can change the order of the categories that it puts food in. So if you type in, like, canned apples, it'll put it under canned goods, but if you type in apples, it'll put it under produce. So we can reorder those categories, so ours are in order of the store.
Yeah.
Jules says, Mal, you look comfy. It's freezing up here. I needed long sleeves.
That's fine. You know what there should be? It's the future, man. When you walk into a store, any store in the world, doesn't matter what kind of store it is, you walk into the store, instantly your phone pings and is like, hey, click this, and then you do it, and then hold on, I'm not there. You do it, and it gives you it. You don't have to like download a full app. It's the future. We don't have that. We don't need that. But like, you can type in anything in the store, and it just tells you
where it is.
Yeah, there needs to be a search system.
Publix has that, or they did have it on their website, but it's confusing because there was one time their site said they had miso, and it was in the dairy aisle. And, like, you could see, like, where it was, and it was, like, near the butter. And we went and looked, and it wasn't there. And I couldn't get
Well, in my
miso.
version, it's right. It's right. Joker says, set up a list and the phone pings you. Okay, so, like, it needs to be fully up to date. It needs to be something that, like, it doesn't just show you where it is. It tells you if they have it in stock. Everything is like and it like guides you. It's like aisle 8, and then it's got AR, so you'll hold your phone up and it starts showing you on your screen like where it is.
Jules says all stores should have echolocation for products. I want to scream cereal and hear it scream back to me.
I mean, that's an idea. Here we go. We put geotags on every product. You go in and you're like, you know, I need this thing, and you hit it, and then the tag beeps, and then you go find the beep. That actually might not work because every time you walk into a store, there would just be so many beeps going off. You'd be like, which beep is my beep? It'd have to be songs. You'd have to like hit a button and be like, I need cereal, and it'd be like, it'd be like, listen for Foreigner. You'd be like, oh, okay. Then you'd be walking through like listening for Foreigner. You'd be like, That's how you'd figure it out.
I love how you pick Foreigner.
That was a strange choice in retrospect. I probably could. It's cold as ice. Oh, here's my cereal. I found it. Man, that would be like sensory overload. Anyway, that's the store I want to shop at. It would be great. I don't know how we make this happen, but I would be down to like
one of our local
support
Food
this
Lions
idea.
had the weirdest layout.
Coffee.
Like, I don't know if they thought they were trying to save space. It's since changed. But the soda aisle was at the middle aisle. And on both sides, the aisle, the whole aisle was like this. Like it was a V shape, and the other side of the soda aisle did a mirror. And then the next aisle was that. So it was like this weird chevron pattern through the store. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't see down an entire aisle to be like, is the flour around that turn there or not? Like, you had to like go down the aisle and look.
What you're trying to say is it was set up badly.
It was.
Yeah. It's okay to say it was set up badly, because it sounds like it was set up badly. I just want everyone to know I ate my honey
Cereal.
honey
Good.
smacks.
No,
I keep
can
wanting
eat.
to call them sugar smacks. Oh, only now can you eat your Chobani flip. What's it called? S'mores.
Yes. I'm not thrilled with
That
this
sounds
flavor.
That sounds like a Buggles
But
song.
I started buying them in a 4-pack because it was faster just to grab a 4-pack from the grocery store.
Instead of grabbing 4 individual ones.
And like being like, what flavors do I want? I love the key lime pie one. That's my absolute favorite. I'll buy that in a 4-pack any day. But I wanted to get another one, and I was like, ugh. And they don't have as many selections.
S'mores, s'mores, burr, 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 s'mores, s'mores. Reminds me of the Clean Clean song. All right, I'm being told that we have alerts.
By Chess.
And also part of my own brain. Part of my brain is like, you should read alerts, and the other part is like, what if you continued to explore the idea of a store that is constantly shouting various songs at you? They're both good ideas. I'll probably read alerts, and I'll come back to that first one. 14 months from Twitchy Toes. Thank you. 8 months from Ice and Fire 2114. Thank you.
See, I think we could talk more about yogurt.
We could.
Keep reading alerts.
Basuna says, basically any store. You know what's weird? When you go into a store and there's no music, and you know this immediately. You're like, oh.
Didn't
This is
Publix
unsettling.
have that?
Coffee.
Don't they have that now? Or they had it in like over the summer?
I don't know. It also depends. It depends heavily on the amount of people in the store too.
Yeah.
If there's a fair bit of people in the store, then sometimes not having any music is okay. But like, oh, that's interesting. Mex says there's basically never music in Norway. Oh, that's wild. I feel like that would be very unsettling.
When we went to IGA at Bolanos,
Yeah.
at the start of the pandemic, when like we couldn't get anything, and everything was closing at like 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was silent in there, and there was like only one other couple shopping, and one checkout open, and like a North Myrtle Beach PD officer.
Mex says, no, it's great, trust me. Well, it is standard procedure in the U.S. for restaurants and stores to have music playing, and because that is standard procedure, trust me, it is odd if there's nothing playing. Like, you tend to know this, because you're like, oh. I think it's actually more unnerving in the restaurant. Like, if you're eating in the restaurant...
Especially if you're like the only one in there.
Yeah. Brandon says, doesn't even need to be good music, just like 80s music covers. True, actually. Completely true. Yeah, it's just the idea of, like, something playing. There's, like... Man, people have some different ideas about this. Alright, fair. Fair. I highly prefer music in a restaurant. I'm going to tell a very quick story. A quick little anecdote.
Turn the music down.
What?
Is this the IHOP story?
Oh, no, but that's a great story, too. That's not where I was going, but that's a great story. There was there was a time where I went out to eat with a group of people. Some folks I didn't like know all that well. We went to a restaurant, normal restaurant. Go in, music's playing because it's the U.S. They play music, and we had not a big group, but we probably had like 8 people. And they're like, oh, you all want to sit together, and we're like, sure. And they're like, come this way, and they take us to a back room.
Oh, I know this story now.
They take us to a back room, like a, what do they call those? Like
Party room.
Like a party room. There's no music in the party room. I mean, no music in the party room. It is pin drop in the party room. So we all get set, and like, it had been normal. Then they're like, go through this door. So we go through the door, party room, silence. So we all sit down, and like, that's something that would be awkward. But Jules says, what kind of a party room is that? Right? You gotta change the name for that restaurant. And like, it's a type of situation that you could navigate if you were with close friends, because it wouldn't be awkward. You could still talk and be like, there's no music, whatever. Anyway, but it is pretty awkward when you don't know people all that well. So like, you're trying to like have like a just small talk, and it's like every time you stop talking, there's no sound in the room. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. Anyway, that's my story. You have to have music when you're trying to like talk with someone, because otherwise the minute that you stop speaking, it's super awkward. You're like, that's cool, and then you can just count the seconds, and it's like boom 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 boom, and you're sitting there and you're like, God, I think it's been 5 seconds since anyone said anything. Boom 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 boom, and the other person's like, oh my God, do they hate me? Is what's happening right now? Boom 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 boom, and you're like, I should say something, literally anything. I wonder if the waiter will come back soon. Boom 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 boom. Anyway, it's there's got to be music. That's why we play. It's not the reason we play music on the show, but it's one of the reasons. There's got to be like something. Social Anxiety the musical. Appropriate. Thank you, Didactic. But it's true. It's true. Like, it's just, there's got to be there's got to be something to fill that, like Reed says, there's got something to fill the void. Exactly. You should have turned off the music for that story for dramatic effect. Missed opportunity. Anyway, let me get back to reading alerts, which I just stopped doing because I do that. 12 months. From Sarah from 2000. My political job has eased. I can now listen to more Breakfast with Grandma and Grandpa. Well, I'm glad that you are here. And congrats on a year. That rhymed. Not intentional, but I'll take it. 11 months from Chill Days. Slowly creeping closer to that 1 year mark. You'll get it in December. I had to think of what month comes after this. Sometimes I think it's December. Sometimes I think it's May. 11 months from Alice Forsyth. Good morning, grandparents. I wasn't able to say this before, but congrats on Extra Life this year and to everyone that donated. Also, I can't believe it's been 11 months. Looks like I'm stuck inside because the city I live in is red for COVID. Well, I hope that gets better. There's been just the U.S. is starting to climb towards, I think, its highest daily totals. But in particular, South Carolina is actually doing better than it had been. Wisconsin is not. So, everybody stay safe to the best of your ability, is I guess the message here. 17 months from Amaron. It says, hot dang, 17 months. That definitely sounds like a reason to mix hot cocoa in my coffee this morning. That's an idea. Hope my favorite pair of internet grandparents has a good day today. Do something nice and soft for yourselves. Do something soft.
We're going to put air in the tires today.
Is air soft? I don't know. Is it? Does it count? Can there be hard air? I have to move on, or I'll sit here and think about this for a long time. Oh, now we're talking about airsoft guns. I haven't played airsoft
Brandon,
in
that's
forever.
amazing. Brandon has a cigarette lighter, electronic air pump with a PSI reader on it.
That's really smart.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have one of those, so we got to go to the place.
We had one of those little pen things that are silver and the PSI shoots out the other end, the meter.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't find it. And I know we let Dan borrow it, but I thought we got it back, and then we must have, taken it out of the Escape when we switched cars. And now I don't know where it is. So we gotta go find the gas station that has the one built in.
Yeah. Otherwise, I just have to, guess based on...
No, we're not guessing.
Be like, yeah, it looks good.
No.
This I gotta tell you.
Pedal wants a Sheets. I wish we had a Sheets.
One of the for a lot of reasons, get myself a sandwich. One advantage to having well, I say a new car, but really it's probably just a car in the last 10 plus years, is they tell you, the car knows. How does the car know? I don't know.
There's a pressure meter built in.
I think it's an evil spell, actually. I'm pretty sure it's an evil spell. But we were driving, and the car was like, hey, buddy. Well, it didn't say that. What is this, a store? No.
I got an email. I showed you the email. Because the car was like, hey, tire pressure's low, driver side rear.
Did the car email you?
The car emailed me.
We've gone too far. We've gone too far. The car can't email you. The car is not an organic being.
Well, then it pinged the Subaru server, which sent me an email saying, hey, your tire pressure is low. Get it looked at.
Listen, I'm already struggling with the fact that the washing machine is connected to Wi-Fi. The car is not allowed to email. Because now, who else is the car going to email?
It tells you which one. The email did not tell me which one, but the car told us which one.
The car's going to be like, hey, I just want to let you know, I signed you up for the email subscription list for Golden Corral. And I'd be like, I didn't ask for that. I'd be like, but I could drive you to Golden Corral because I'm the car. Anyway, the car tells you when the tires are low, and that's wild.
They're all slightly low, but it's because our temperature was... We had a high of 50 on Monday or Tuesday, and then when the air is cold, it gets smaller. There's a word, and I can't think of what it is.
When the air is cold, it gets smaller, applies to tires. I need to move on. 300 bits from Satsy. Remember the 5th November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. There's more to that poem that I can't remember, so clown to end off that lot.
Denser. Thank you, that meat chick. The air is denser.
NDL's reminding me of Seinfeld episodes.
Thanks, Brendan. The PSI goes down with the temp because the air is less excited.
Moving on. 14 months from Paint Chipper. Wow, 14 months. Thanks for all the entertainment you guys create. Your guys' content is what helps me get through these hard times. I'm happy to assist. It's important to. What's the part from the Monty Python song?
Which one?
Look for a bright side of life. It's like you have to remember to laugh and dance and sing, something like that. Anyway,
you know that song better than I do.
You gotta do that. Anyway, shout out to Monty Python. Love that guy. 9 months from Real Moist Pony. Triple plus for the moistest. 12 months. Put this down. From LB 308. 1 year. Wow, time flies. 19 months from Rock Drawn LPs. 19 months of Crunch. Have a great day. And lastly, Thermodynamics. Life of Brianna. 25 months from The Chemist 2020. 25 months. Woo! Real talk, though, was thinking at work last night, banana phone / coffin dance mashup? What is coffin dance?
Oh, it could be strange.
Banana phone, I know. Coffin dance, is that, if things aren't from 2000, then I don't know what that is. Banana phone, I know. It's, Chaz, please make all your references at least a decade stale for Grandpa. Thanks in advance. It does help. Anyway, you're the man now, dog. 22 months from Ella Tyler. Oh my gosh, I made it to a live breakfast stream. I haven't been for a few months now because a new job fell on my lap out of nowhere in August, but this week I was given a new assignment that gives me a little more freedom to put something on in the background. Well, good. It's nice to just feel like you're allowed to do that, too. That goes for me, also. Even working at home, whenever I can do something where I can have something else playing, usually it's music, I like that. 4 months from Ivar says, good morning, Stephen Amount. Haven't been able to watch the streams in a while because I'm super busy with my internship these days. Hopefully after my graduation in February, I'll have some more time. You both and chat have a great day. Well, thank you. I hope, I guess it's a little early to wish you a happy graduation, so happy advanced graduation. If you say advanced, then that's fine. Advanced.
I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I was like, you know what always cheers me up? And then I sent him the Maneke Neko,
Yeah.
or the Michiri.
Boop, boop,
Yeah, the
boop,
marching
boop,
cat
boop, boop, boop,
video.
boop, boop. I do like that.
Yeah.
See, that's not from 20 years ago.
And he was like, okay, you're right. This made me smile, and I'm like, good.
It does. It's hard to not watch the whole thing. That's the problem with that video. You start watching it, and you're like, cats. And then you just keep, and then before you know it, it's over, and you're like, oh, I watched the whole thing, even though I've seen it before. Joel says, best anti-anxiety medication. Yeah. It's cute. I like it. And anytime I hear it, like, I have to, like, listen to the whole thing. It's a good video. There are bits from Opera Bubbles that says, good morning, everyone. Yesterday, everyone at my work was blindsided by corporate telling us that they're liquidating all their U.S. businesses, and none of us will have a job after December 31st. If y'all would kindly send some good vibes my way. Good vibes? That is blindside. I mean, you know, they're giving you some notice. Some. But that's a big air quotes, because that's not a ton of time. My best to you, and also to, you know, all your coworkers, because that's big news, and not a ton of time to figure all that out. So yeah, good vibes from chat, because that's not something that you want to hear ever, and I sincerely hope that your job hunt goes well. Hope that things fall into place as quickly as possible. We got 8 months from Andrea, who says, 1 more month till Twitch, baby. What should I name it? Garfunkel. 500 bits from IKnowItSpellCom. There are absurdly complex reasons for the organization. Slotting fees, or slotting allowances, are fees that manufacturers pay retailers to appear on their scarce shelves. It can cost millions of dollars to launch a product in the nation's groceries. These fees shape our supermarkets and diets long before we're able to make a purchase decision ourselves. These are the sorts of things that you kind of suspect.
Yeah.
And then you read it and you're like, yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. So even if we decided to make a cereal,
it'd probably end up next to Cracklin' Oat brand on the top shelf.
We'd have to market it to tall people.
What if we made a cereal that was just like a hand pointing and be like, buy this cereal? Who knows where it's going to be in any particular store?
Are you saying
advertising another cereal?
Are you saying that we should like front the money for R&D, pay the fees to get into the grocery stores, and then it would just be a joke, and the box would be a hand, and it would just say, buy that cereal?
Yes.
What would be in the box of ours?
Our cereal.
So we would have cereal.
Yes.
And it would just be little hands that are pointing like this.
Yes.
Like on the back, at the bottom, it's like finger gun cereal. It's like, finger guns. Have you tasted finger guns?
Try that cereal.
Finger gun cereal.
I love this.
Finger gun cereal is great. The problem is a lot of people don't buy it because they buy the competitor next door. But if you actually take the time to try it, also in order to recoup costs, each box of cereal is $400. But there's a prize inside. We have to move on. 30 bits from Squid. It says, finding stuff in stores like that would never work because people will put fruit behind paper towels or toothpaste by candy. I'm not the person that's like stocking the stuff and like taking care of the store. So I'm, there's the only time that I'm like severely bothered, because I understand that people are going to just put stuff on shelves. I wish they wouldn't. I don't. Just Just so it's out there. I will walk all the way back to put things where they belong.
And you have. Mm-hmm.
And I have, because organization is a very key thing in my life, and it needs to exist everywhere, and people should follow the rules. But the only time I'm like super, super bothered is whenever I'm walking by like, you know, a thing of paper towels and there's like chicken. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Or ice cream.
Yes. I'm like, what are you doing?
And that tends to happen in stores more frequently for us in the summer because of tourists, I think. But like in the winter and at Publix especially, I feel like that doesn't happen.
We live in a society. Just, it's so simple. It's so simple. Anyway. 300 bits from Adrian Cal. It says, time to get the party horn alert, unless I put something like Honker Mummy because it's my birthday. Anyway. I finished FF14 Stormblood main story today. Congrats. There was a lot of folks that were excited about that. I haven't played Final Fantasy XIV, but leading up to that release, there were folks talking about it. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Well, I guess you didn't say that you enjoyed it. You finished it. I'm going to assume you enjoyed it if you finished it, because you had to keep playing. And that's like... that's part of it. If you got to the end of a game, especially if the game is long, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't play games you don't like. 2 months from DBO5 says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. 300 bits from Padawan Becca. Steven, you aren't crazy when it comes to the microscopic bread. When I mix medicine and peanut butter for residents, I've noticed after spreading it, there's tiny micro bread particles, so I often use 2 knives for 1 sandwich.
Please don't punch me.
I know. I know that that's true. I've seen the bread particles.
In yours? Like,
just
we have different things.
I always knew. I always knew. Oh, man. So, how long ago was it? 100 years? Whenever everyone was here? Like a week?
Yeah.
There was one day where Dan was making a sandwich downstairs. He was making a peanut butter jelly sandwich. So, he, you know, did the peanut butter, spread it on the bread, and then he went over to the sink, and he was, you know, rinsing it off. And I was like, Dan, you can just get another knife. And he's like, I know. He's like, you want everything to be clean before it goes into the jam. He's like, I'll just wash it off. I was like, no, use another knife. And he's like, why? I was like, because you'll kill my wife. And he's like, oh. And I was like, yeah. Because you use the jam.
Yeah, I use the jam.
It's something that people don't think about if they don't have, you know.
And if you're making a sandwich, you always do jam first because of that. So there's no cross-contamination.
Well, I just use 2 knives.
That too.
It's easier. 18 months from Seeker the Dept, who got to 1+. Thank you, Dept. Reed gives a sub to Silence, aka the person you don't want in your restaurant. 3 months from Stoop Kid. Woo, 3 months of crunch, a third of the way to a sub baby. So the sub baby is actually constructed of the pluses. So you're constructing. 200 bits from Will A. Peters. 300 from Sakura Celica. Speaking of yogurt, Mal, you eat yogurt. You eating yogurt made me like it again. I don't know why I stopped eating it, but maybe it's because I went through a phase where I hated cheese / any dairy products.
You go through phases.
Any suggestions for yogurt flavors? My favorites are Chobani Mango and Strawberry Shortcake.
We'll have to try Strawberry Shortcake. Like I said, I love the key lime pie one. A lot of the time I buy the Publix ones. They have a black cherry one I really like. And it's a flip one where it's like the little cup that you dump into the regular yogurt.
I think I've only ever had 2 yogurts ever. Like, I didn't even start, like, trying yogurt until...
college?
No, after that. I don't think I had in college. I think, like, whenever we got married. Mm-hmm. You were like, you should try yogurt. And I was like, okay. And I tried, the first thing I ever tried was, what's, like, the brand?
Yoplait?
That. The little tiny cups. I did the Yoplait strawberry.
See, I'm not a fan of that style of yogurt, because there's like 3 styles now? 4 styles?
What?
Because there's like that yogurt, which I don't know what that one's called specifically.
It's called yogurt.
And there's Greek yogurt, which I like, and then there's French yogurt, which I also don't like, and I think there's one more. But I like Greek yogurt.
What is French yogurt?
I got it one time and I was not a fan.
That does not explain to me what it is.
I don't know what the differences are.
Okay.
It was in a little glass jar, and we had a coupon.
Puma Brettel says, I like frozen yogurt. Yeah. Have a free box of our $400 finger gun cereal. Yeah, I've only ever had Yoplait strawberry, and I think Yoplait vanilla.
Yeah, the brand is Wee.
Brandon says, I think the difference is that it's worse.
French style yogurt, blah blah blah.
The Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt is strange.
I have had Greek yogurt, but I was buying it whenever I was doing smoothies. I never ate Greek yogurt. I don't think it's for consumption. I think it's just for use in smoothies. Because I did not eat it. I didn't just because it's it tastes different, doesn't it?
French style yogurt is made in small batches, mimics how yogurt was made in French farmhouses a century ago.
Farmhouses.
It's just made in a different way.
But tastes relatively the same?
The French one apparently is more tart.
Well, it's probably because it's made in the farmhouse. Karate chop. 4 months from Anna N. Waters. She says, Twitch is refusing to let me post my 4-month message. Does anyone know why? I mean, it did it there, though. It worked! Unfortunately, the message is you talking about it, refusing to let it post. But also, Twitch does weird things. Sometimes it just, doesn't do, so... 300 bits from Jithy Picard. Mao, have you seen the even larger Saturn plush coming out?
Yeah, but it's stores only, and it's a pop-up store, and it's in Kyoto for a time, and then Tokyo for a time, or vice versa.
Yeah, short version is yes. Long version is, how do we get it? I want it.
Yeah, I want it.
But I don't know how to get it. It's not like we can go to Japan.
Not right now.
Maybe we'll figure something out. Now that college is done being paid for, I'm looking for a better part-time job that does not kill me inside. Brother even put on a good word for me at this job. P.S. Be nice to online chat people. And then, on that, just be nice. Be kind. Share kindness. Whether it's online with people, that you know and don't know, or in your day-to-day. Be kind to the worker at the grocery store, because they probably have to move chicken out of the paper towel aisle. Just why would you... Anyway, 4 months from Wanderlive, who says, morning. I've been subbed 4 months already. Wow, what is time? I can't believe it's November. Crazy. I mean, agreed. We're already yeah, we're at a sixth of the way through November. This is kind of a weird fraction, but, still. It's just the other day. It was a week ago, because that's how time works. Be kind and stay away from them. 300 bits from DannyX6. The prize inside each $400 box of finger gun cereal is either a finger or a gun.
Ooh.
That is the lore I choose to accept. The problem is you can really tell, when you pick up a box of finger gun cereal and one is substantially heavier than the other one, you're like, I think this one's a gun!
Well, you know how they have those fake fingers for magic tricks?
Yeah.
My dad had one, because apparently he was into magic for 6 months.
Yeah. Everyone goes through that phase.
What if you just got one of those, but a long finger so you could poke people better?
Oh, I like the idea of it is a real finger. In every box, in every $400 box of finger gun cereal, you find either a real finger or a real gun. There is no in-betweens. That's just how finger gun cereal works. It is $400. It's much cheaper to buy a real finger or a real gun elsewhere, but that's not what it's about. You want to taste the finger gun magic. Special boxes contain both a finger and a gun, or a gun in the shape of a finger. Jesus. 300 bits from Anna. She says, I can't believe it's been 4 months already. It's a shame I haven't been able to make it to a lot of streams lately because my new job is 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. RIP my sleep schedule. Hopefully after the semester ends, I'll have the leeway to have my schedule changed. Am I seriously choosing my days off specifically and solely based on when breakfast stream is? Perhaps. I think that's reasonable. To like a certain degree. Also, that meat trick says a gun in the shape of a finger. A finger gun? Also, in the boxes that you get a finger gun, there's no cereal. You open it up and it's just a real working gun, but in the shape of a hand like this. And you're like, I did want the cereal. And then you have to write into the company. I'm glad that this lore is just about fully created. 14 months from Akira Dre says, you don't want to know how much stuff gets thrown out due to people putting it on random shelves. What really gets me is people who get to the checkout and decide they don't want something and don't hand it to the cashier so we can get it put back. I'm assuming that comes from like some level of embarrassment about that. So instead they put it like in the the magazine rack or something. You know, they get up to the front and they're like, you know what? I don't want this raw chicken. I'm going to put it on...
right here in the gum.
I'm going to put... just going to put this right here in the gum. And that's just how it's going to be. Again, my apologies to everyone who works on staff at grocery stores. Because, you know... the thing is, when I'm like I see this when I'm shopping, and I'm not shopping all day. I'm shopping for a very small amount of time. So you know that this is happening all the time. Man, I feel like if I saw someone doing that, I could not be quiet. Like not as a like a worker, not as someone working the store. Like just me, just Steve and George. Like if I saw someone putting raw chicken onto, you know, a celebrity magazine, it would be very hard for me to not hold my tongue. No, it'd be very hard for me to hold my tongue, adding negatives where they don't need to exist. God forbid that they put a box of finger gun cereal. We got Star Reigns, 300 from Hograth with the Kirby feet, immediately followed by Jules with the Bob-on feet. So many feet. Also from Jules. Hi, Mom and Dad. Quick question. What are the health risks of eating Taco Bell every day? What's that movie? I was going to say documentary, but...
Super Size Me?
Super Size Me. The guy eats McDonald's every day. I don't know. Watch that. Eating Taco Bell every day does seem like... I mean, you know, everyone can do their own thing. I feel like I would get really tired of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Actually, I can tell you when I generally get tired of Taco Bell. It's halfway through eating Taco Bell. Because about halfway through eating Taco Bell, my body is like, you have made a terrible decision. And everything immediately starts shutting down. And like turning on the fire alarms in my body. And then it's, you know...
We're having tacos tonight.
I mean, yeah. Jill says, tired of Taco Bell. My brain does not compute that sentence. Well... have you considered making tacos? Because, like, we eat tacos, but we, like, make them. So, like, we buy the beef... and we cook it up and add, like, the seasonings and everything. And that immediately is better than taco. Like, it's good. You're bad at making food. Bull. You can make a taco.
You just have to brown the ground beef. And
That's it. That's the only thing you have to do.
And then follow the directions on the taco seasoning packet.
You brown the beef.
We make our own seasoning now, but we did that for a long time, and it's just...
Jules, I don't like doing things I'm bad at. Well, you can't become good at something unless you do it. I've set fire to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That sentence doesn't make sense.
The way he says that, it sounds like he made it and then was like, fire, with like a match.
Everyone should be able to make tacos. All you gotta do is brown beef. And I listen, if you like Taco Bell, you're gonna love tacos at home. Because it's like Taco Bell, but it's better. It's cheaper. Probably doesn't seem like it's cheaper, but I guarantee you it's cheaper. And it's, you know, did I say it's better? It's better. It's better twice, and it's cheaper. That's pretty good. Plus, you get to decide exactly, like, how much you want in it.
And you could do beans. Like, if you get, like, refried beans, the can, you could just heat up and add, like, some cumin and chili powder.
Yeah.
Or black beans. Or black refried beans.
It's true. It's true. Anyway. We're having tacos. We made tacos the other... When did we make it? 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, we made tacos like 2 days ago, and we have some leftovers, so we're going to be working on that. Oh, and they're so good.
We have leftover refried beans, too.
And last night we made... Can you come over and... Yes. Yes. Swing on by. Last night we made a Korean beef bowl, which is one of our favorite things to make. And that was delicious. I'm trying to think of what else we've made recently. It's been really good.
I'm making tikka masala.
I just keep thinking, we've made Snack Crate.
Tikka masala soon. Tikka masala.
Oh, you also made Korean beef bowl. Nice. Yeah, it's good. It's not quite bibimbap. Not like it's not.
We need to get more vegetables into it.
Exactly the same thing, but it's close.
Kimchi would be really good.
Sproul said, "Did you get a new slow cooker?" We did. We haven't used it yet. Haven't needed it yet, but we did get one when we were at Costco because they're cheap. We're like,
I thought I would need it for Extra Life, but we didn't use it.
Is there a Korean tofu bowl?
Yeah, you could make it with tofu.
I'm not a big tofu guy. Like, if it's in something, I'll eat it, but I'm never going to be like, give me the tofu. Gonna pass on that. It's a texture thing for me. I'm like,
there's different textures of tofu.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's like 8 in Japan, but there's like 3 in South Carolina. Maybe 2 in South Carolina.
Oh. Anyway, move on from the Taco Bell question.
You could do it with what's the big fruit? The spiky jackfruit. It'd be pretty good with that, I think.
I've never had jackfruit.
Publix just started selling it here. Pretty sure you could make a good version with that.
Who made the Hungry Pumpkin and why? It's an old Flash game. It's funny that comes up because we were talking to Alex and Haley Tuesday. And Alex's alarm, for his phone is just, give me the pizza, give me the pizza, give me the pizza. And Alex, he was like, what is this from and why is it my alarm? It's been this for so long I actually don't remember. And I was like, it's from that weird Flash game from a long time ago. And he's like, oh, okay. Good tangent. 300 bits from Padawan Backhouse. His flavor is finger blasting berry. 300 bits from Reed with the Star Rain is Key Cat. And then 300 bits from Hogarth with the Star Rain. Dry and glide, baby. Sorry, I had a little... Excuse me. Little burp. Emil says, Dan had the exact same alarm last year. So Alex's is the alarm. Dan's is his text tone. So when Dan gets any texts, that's the sound it makes. Is, give me the pizza. And I'm actually the one that made him that. Like, I'm the one that made the thing. Because I forget what it was. Like, he played it, and he's like, oh, that'd be funny as a text tone. So then I did that, and I was like, here. Now you have it. So now he has it. Max says, imagine having sounds on your phone. Same. I keep everything on silent so much that I can't truly relate. Turn to Best from Shy says, so we were talking about temperature and pressure before. Time for the November edition of Physics Facts. Increasing the temperature of a fluid in a closed container/loop can increase the temp, but you can reversely manipulate the temp by forcibly changing the pressure. By forcing it into a high pressure state, you can raise the temp and lower it in a lower pressure state. I'm glad that we got, like, scientists. Because I start reading that, and I'm like, this is neat. I'm not going to remember it, but, like, it's neat. And I'm glad that there's folks that's their thing, and they do that stuff.
They do that.
They do that. If you got questions about, like...
Organic chem?
I was going to say something I knew about.
Oh.
I don't know about organic chem. I cannot answer your organic chem questions. I can tell you some things about cameras. I can tell you about aperture. There's probably other things I know.
Brandon says, what is f-stop?
What is f-stop?
And Chaz sighs loudly.
What is it? Aperture science. I know some things about video games, I guess. I don't know things about video games. I've just played them.
Fantasy Sumo's coming up.
I don't know anything about sumo.
You know a little bit. Who's your guy?
Wakataka Kage!
Good.
It's like you have a trained dog. What's your guy? Wakataka Kage! Oh, Brandon.
Brandon's trying to draft him. Alex is too.
Okay, well, you know, whenever I get to go first, I will take him and hate draft him.
Coffee.
Jules sends 300 bits and says, why 23.978 frames per second, not 24?
Jules.
So that's something called drop frame, and I will not be able to do it justice in the explanation. You should probably look it up. It's left over from, like, broadcast days. I believe the specific use of drop frame was for, I believe the original use is for, like, sound sync. And it's just like a leftover thing. And because broadcast has not reasonably changed, we still have it. It's why we have 2397. It's why we have 2997. It's why we have 5994. And that goes up the scale too. So, like, if you, not that we broadcast anything in like 120 frames a second. I mean, maybe someone somewhere does, like, for broadcast. No, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's a thing. Then it would continue to scale. So it would be like 119.92? Maybe? Something like that? Anyway. Yeah. That's why. That's why. And there's like more to it, but I don't remember every single little thing about it, and then also there's too much. There's too much. But yeah, I could talk about that sort of stuff for a long time. It's fun. There's a lot of little things related to that where you only really have to, like, you need to know it like once. Like for a while I was using a camera that had to use a reverse telecine process, which is like a whole thing. Anyway, like I had to learn about that in order to do things with that specific camera, and then I've never needed it since. And now I couldn't tell you about it.
Was that the Bolex?
No, that was the HV20.
Ah.
The HV20 did some weird crap in order to make things work, where you're shooting on tape, but you're shooting in HD, and you're shooting you're essentially shooting 60, but you're getting the computer to read it as 24. Is like Anyway, Jewel says music theory is like that too, to be honest. Yeah, you know, I took a music theory class. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a mistake to do it. It wasn't a mistake, but you know, me and all of my roommates. So me and Alex and Dan and Taylor, we all took music theory.
Senior year.
We took it senior year because we all had a free elective, and we're like, hey, let's take music theory because we're on Rate My Professors, and this professor is easy. We could just use an easy class. Let's just take this easy class. It'll be fun. We were all musically inclined to some degree, so we're like, all right, that'll be good. And on the first day of class, she got in front of the class and was like, you know, if some of you, you know, are here because you saw my good score on Rate My Professors or whatever, she's like, I just want you to know that that's my, whatever, my 100 level class, and that this is a higher class.
Why didn't you drop immediately?
I don't know.
See, that would have been me being like, oh, and then I would have dropped.
Anyway, we stuck it out. And, like, it was hard because, like, basically every other person there, every other person in the class was a musician.
Mm-hmm.
They were a straight-up musician. And, like, oh, God. It was very clear the four of us were not bona fide musicians.
She warned you.
She did. And you know what? She had to deal with us. We had to learn how to use, what's the software? The notation software. Someone will say it, and then I'll be like, that's the one. But we had to learn how to do that, and that was a whole thing. Sibelius. That's it. Sibelius. Yeah. So I had to learn that. And, like, you know, immediately forgot it because, like, well, I'm not using it. You know, I've made songs and stuff in, like, GarageBand and Logic, but I've never used Sibelius. Did you pass? Yeah, I got an A. I actually got an A in that class.
You complained about it constantly.
I did. It was hard as hell. It was extremely difficult. Because she was doing the tests where
you have to hear
the differences, and the notes are like almost the same. And you know, it was an exam format where like everyone's just the intervals. Doing that in a class of musicians is the worst feeling ever, because the four of us are sitting in the back of the class, and she's like, you know, I'm going to do this, and then you write on your paper. So she'll do it, and then immediately every musician's head is like, and like writes it down, and I'm still there like, those are the same notes. Those are the same notes. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm going to come up there myself and watch you do this. Those are the same. Anyway, I did manage to get an A. And I did pretty good. But God, it was, you know, that was not my thing. That was not my thing. And I've played guitar for like many, many, many years, but like I can't read music or anything. Like I just play.
You can read tabs and chords.
Yeah, and like that's how I would play. And like I can hear things, but there's a difference between hearing a song on the radio and then figuring it out versus the music teacher doing things that are so freaking close. You're like, that's the same. That's the same. So, very easy to tell the difference between, whatever, A and F. Very hard to tell the intervals apart. You're like, I don't know what.
See, I can read treble clef just fine because clarinet was in treble clef. Mm-hmm. But then when we did like scales and stuff, we had to know bass clef for band because he would give us like, what's this note? And it would be a clef you didn't know. So I had to like, it was like thinking through a language in my head, like, all right, what's the thing for bass clef like?
Mal, will you play a clarinet solo on one of my videos?
I don't have a clarinet anymore. But I would.
Just imagine.
It's been a very long time. In fact, it's probably been even longer because I played bass clarinet and contrabass like some of the last times I played.
I really like the contrabass. Really.
I probably don't have the embouchure for it anymore.
Good boys do find always. All cows eat grass. I forget the one that I learned. See, my mom was trying to teach me piano when I was...
Yeah, Kayla Chris
4.
remembers I gave my clarinet to a local high school because mine was a beginner clarinet and I had no point in keeping it.
Yeah.
So I donated it.
You gave the gift of music to another generation.
Yeah.
And you're not sitting around playing it, so
No.
It's not a point in... Every good boy deserves fudge. That's what I learned.
That's treble clef.
Well, I don't remember the other ones.
Right.
I don't know. You're saying these things. I don't know what they are.
I see it on the the clef on the lines in the bars, the spaces in the bars, and I just know it. Like
bars.
If I see like a note on the A space, I know what key that is on the clarinet just without thinking. The staff, thank you. It's been 10 years since I played.
At least you know what that thing's called. I don't even use that thing. That thing shows up, I'm like, get out of here. Can't look at that. Yeah, I learned a little piano as a result. Well, I mean, we had to do it for music theory, but like when I was a kid, my mom taught me a little bit of piano. But I enjoyed the guitar better. Because you get to break it as hard as you can. We 300 bits from Padawan back and says, I don't think we've had enough camera talk. What's your favorite filming technique? Recently? I mean, so like I get to play around with the vlog, but also the vlog's strange. Like on the one hand, I get to play around with things. And then on the other hand, the monotony of the days means that a lot of times things are similar. But getting a chance to do the snap zooms once we finally had a camera that had a lens that did that, that was probably something that was really fun for me. I don't know, that's not my favorite technique. That's just something that I was really excited for once we had access to that. Occasionally I'll get on like a dolly zoom kick and try to do them. There's ways to do them correctly, and then there's ways to just kind of do them, and I fall into the second camp because I don't have everything I need to do one perfectly effectively, but they're fun. I don't know. Coffee. I also really like I mean, it's a basic filmmaking technique, but like rack focusing, doing it in the vlog is impossible. Like if I'm filming myself, but getting a chance to do it when we do other stuff is nice.
You know what I should do?
What's that?
I should try and see if any of my high school band friends have the CD for Vespin. Because I only have like 2 songs. There's a whole album. Sorry. Well, you were talking about camera. I just thought about other things.
That happens a lot. I get that a lot, actually. I get that a lot, so I'm not that's not really that unusual. Learning Bits from Shio says, I have a pretty good ear for tone, but if you asked me to name a note on the fly, it would take a while to figure out what the note name actually is. Back when I played upright bass, I could pretty closely tune it just by humming the tone. Yeah, if you asked me to name notes, that'd be hard. I'd be like, I don't know. No idea. I can replicate something, but I can't tell you what it is. That requires knowledge. That's too difficult. Anyway, 300 bits from Cats Online. She says, good morning, you two, and Kepi. Hope you're doing well. I have an interview for a job tomorrow since I made the decision to drop university for the sake of my mental health and are in need of some good vibes, if any are around. I think I know where you can get some. Chat, send some good vibes to Cats Online for the job interview. I hope things go well. You certainly got good vibes coming your way. All that rainbow bacon. Everyone's lovingly referred to it as rainbow bacon. 500 bits from Air-3K. Today's my birthday, but these bits are my gift to you.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you, but happy birthday. Hope your birthday goes well. Hope things are good. And good vibes to you as well. 8 months from Jillips. Thanks, Jillips. Oh, hey, one of the things that we actually have this morning, we don't normally do this on Breakfast Stream, but we have a fair bit of art. So I'm going to run art this morning, which is a little unusual. But let's take a look, because we have a lot of non-Zelda art.
Yeah.
And this is probably a good time to run it. So let's have some morning art. That seems good. Let's take a look here. I mean, some might be like, there could be some that's Zelda.
Yeah.
There could be some. But we're probably going to get some Extra Life art. So this one's from Becca. Thank you, Becca. I wonder if we'll get any Bakugan art. Some of this is actually some of this is Zelda. So there's gonna be some Zelda stuff in here. Also, we get to play Zelda tomorrow. Sorry, I just remembered. I need to finish setting everything up. I got things set up for Breakfast Stream, but I don't have things set up for Zelda. I love this. I love this. I saw this on
Twitter. On
Twitter, where I was gonna say airbenders. I guess not explicitly airbenders. One is earth and one is water, so
yes.
Just benders. Benders. And there's you as a bender, but in your Mao make. It's so interesting to see like the framing and the composition of Mao makes, but as an illustration. That's really, I mean, it's really cool, but it's just different. It's like, it's something I haven't seen before.
Oh, that was Kepi.
Oh, Kepi.
That was Kepi for a couple days after.
Yeah, Kep was exhausted after it. He's
asleep now.
He's a little tired boy.
He's almost in that same pose.
Yeah. He's a good stinker. Aw.
Oh.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's when that's from the karaoke stream when Dan sang The Rainbow Connection, a song I've never heard of.
Really?
Ever. Everyone seemed to know it, and I was like, I have never heard this song in my life. It was completely new to me. Ah-wee! Man, also, I forget sometimes that Peggy technically has the hats now.
Yeah, I forget about the hats.
Forget about the hats sometimes. Someday we may play more Amazing Island. Something that could happen. Hey, I'm gonna sell you some ice cream, but what I really like to sell you is a Nintendo Switch. That's the thing I want to do the most. Also, shout out to Thomas, who is, I don't know if he's
still playing
it, but he did play through like all of it, I think. Don't you hate it when your eyeball falls out? You gotta put it back in.
That happens in Tulip too.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I forgot, but yes, it does. I'm Mitch, the Yaha. Yahaha is now the species, by the way. They're Koroks. They're Yahahas. Similar to Pokemon, they say their name. That's how it works. Yeah, we named Mitch during the karaoke stream, I think.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh, I love that.
I love it. He's in a tree?
Yeah, that's a really cool idea, too. The idea of just changing the mask to be Halloween-themed. Man, Halloween happened. Big. That was from Tuesday. Things were big. And then I revealed my my large voting sticker. Yeah, it is, but what kind of dinosaur is it? Big. Now that's not specific. Big. If you missed Tuesday's breakfast stream, there is a moment inside which is wonderful. Dudebrock,
I love that.
Dudebrock really adequately captured, I think, the feeling of that. It was a magical time. It was a magical time. Mal tried to search for a dinosaur and just wrote "big" into the Google search bar, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. 800 bits from Miss Soulful Poet Cat. Thank you, Cat. And 300 bits from Light Rock. Shout out to the musicians who are here for a music lesson from the Camera Talk Grandpa. I would not be great at giving music lessons. That would not be... Well, I mean, I guess I could do, like... I could probably teach someone the fundamentals of, like, guitar. Like, the very basics. And then that would be it. Then they'd have to go to Jules. Be like, you go to Jules.
Hey.
I can take care of the very basics here. I can teach you how to hold it and how to strum it, and I can teach you some chords. You can't. I'm not going to teach anybody how to read music because I can't do it. Sab, I will teach you guitar. I will teach you guitar.
You taught me a couple chords.
Yeah,
I'm not very good though.
I mean, you haven't touched it in a long.
I know.
A long
My
time.
My hands are so small. Is
yeah,
it
I
F
can.
That has the bar.
F. Yeah.
I can't do that.
You can. You can. You have to. You have to practice, but you can do it. It's fine. Having large hands is really helpful because, you can stretch across.
When your hands are that big.
A bizarre amount of frets. Which is good. Jules says, F, stop. Haha, get it? These things are coming together. Beautiful. Yeah, I could play piano too, I guess. Yeah, I really love music. It's just, there's always so many other things going on that I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get a chance to delve into things as much as I would like. But that goes for a lot of things too. Like if I had my way, I would be doing more, film stuff. There's just not enough hours in the day to do all of the things that I want to do. So I've been focusing on things that I know I can do and I have time to do, and a lot of that's been video game stuff, but I like that. Ooh, Confused says, what's your favorite genre of music? That's impossible. I don't know.
Steven's playlist goes through everything.
You have a favorite, right?
I like to listen to indie or folk or alternative, things that are a bit quieter and softer.
Recently, you've listened to a lot of, who's the guy? Well, there's a few guys. There's a few guys. Bon Iver.
Not lately.
And the other guy that sounds like Bon Iver.
Oh, every time I'm listening to Emperor X, Steven comes in, he's like, wow, I didn't know Bon Iver had another album. And I'm like,
not
is
Bon
Emperor
Iver.
X.
No, that's not it. Emperor X sounds exactly like John Darnielle and John K. Samson.
Yes, that's who you keep saying.
If they did the fusion dance from Dragon Ball, it would be Emperor X. Emperor X sounds exactly like those two people. Exactly. And every time I walk in, I'm like, is this a new John K. Samson song? I was like, really, a little different, like, stylistically. And I was like, no, this is Emperor X. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. I think the big question is, like, if you could only listen to, like, one type of music for the rest of your life. Like, if you could pick one genre, even, well, the genres blend. So, I don't know. Maybe bluegrass. Maybe bluegrass. That might be, like, if I could only listen to like one thing forever, that might be it. That's probably one of my favorites. But, you know, that also does a disservice to like every other thing, because I like lots of things. So
your playlist is varied.
Jules says melodic progressive death metal. And see, that's a valid choice. Sachi says chiptune. No, I just need to get really tired, and that comes for free. I don't have to actually listen to that. That's just what plays in my head whenever I'm so tired I'm hallucinating. Chiptunes. Why? Don't know. 70s soft rock, prog metal. Yeah, I like tunes. Prog is a cheat answer since prog can be anything. Pears and pork.
See, it depends on my mood. I'm either listening to like quiet, soft things or like 90s punk.
Yeah,
early
but
2000s punk.
But also music is about moods.
Yeah.
Too. Like music is about, depending on what you're feeling for that specific time, is what you need. That's what it's about. That's music. So yeah, you know, if you could say like something heavy, but like I don't want to listen to like heavy music all the time. Although there's certainly times that I do. There's like, yeah, I want to you know, rock out is what I think they say, and I like that.
So I messaged my friend from high school band in the middle of breakfast stream, which I probably shouldn't have done. I was like, hey, do you happen to have the recording from high school? And she's like, yeah, but it's in some weird file type and I can't open it.
That's not a statement. That's not a real thing. I can open anything.
Can we open WMAs?
Yes! It's Windows Media Audio.
Can we just throw it into, like, compressor? And...
Yes!
Okay.
Yes! That's not a weird... I mean, it's certainly not standard, but, like, that's
She
easy.
says, I probably have the old CD of it somewhere, but no CD drive.
Yeah, like, WMA is...
Do you know the last time I had to open a music file on a Windows?
Windows is the one that should be able to open that.
She has a Mac.
Oh, well... VLC will open anything. Just get VLC and then just...
This is the album from when I was in the polka band in high school. So it's all the polkas and waltzes we played for our concert.
Man. Undead Feline says, Steven's hair is getting to proper headbanging length. I mean, unfortunately, I can't headbang because I have vertigo, and that's a very quick way to trigger it quick. So anytime there's music playing, I can just go, and that's it. That's the full extent, like, yeah. And then that's it. Can't do anything. Can't do anything else. Anytime I see people, I actually have like a little bit of PTSD about it. Like I see anyone do a head, like Jack, like swinging his head around.
Jules
Honest
says,
to God,
I just started having vertigo. Does it run in the family?
Vertigo bad. Vertigo real bad. I mean, you can have it to like different degrees, but whenever I first got it in when
2 years ago?
Yeah, a year or two ago. It was in like a February or something.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And like we went to
holy
see
crap.
the ENT, and she's like, "Oh, your crystals are knocked loose," which sounds like the most ridiculous statement.
Sounds like some weird alt health thing. Like, oh, your crystals, and I was like, okay, is this a joke? And she's like, no, actually, you have crystals in your ear that, like, keep your balance in check. And I was like, oh, and I looked into it and I was like, oh, she's right. It's just what they're called. Anyway, be careful. Be careful, because you have to put the Philosopher's Stone back in your eardrum. Audio says early 2019. Okay, so I knew it wasn't this year.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was 2019 or 2018. So 2019. My snake oils are off center. Yeah, it's bad. Like it was to the point where like it's hard to explain. There's no sense of balance. Like you just boom. It was a bad situation, and you just felt sick. Like you just felt nauseated all the time, and you have to do these really wild exercises where you're like upside down and moving your head and do all of this stuff to try and get the crystals back into the right spot. Anyway, that's why...
And it's interesting because when the ENT was, like, manipulating your head, trying to get them through the 3 loops in your ears, like, she could tell which way they were based on that way your eyes rolled.
Yeah. It felt like an exorcism. No, I'm like, honest to God, like, when I was in the office and I went in for the first time, she was like, all right, now I'm gonna, I need you to keep your eyes open and look at me.
Even though you feel sick.
And I was like, okay. And she's like, I'm going to turn your head. And she's like, you need to continue to look. And like, oh my God. It was a wild thing because like, if I would have read about it on paper, I've been like, this is not a real thing. But having had it done to me, I was like, holy Jesus. Like, she's moving my head. The world is like spinning. And I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, you have to keep looking at me. You have to keep looking. And I'm like, ah. And like, I'm gripping the table, and Mal's in the room, and she told me afterwards, she was like, it was so scary to watch what was happening to you. And I was like, yeah, well, it felt like I was just gonna like vomit everywhere. I
didn't film the appointment.
Yeah, Mal didn't film when I was actually having it done, but we talk about the experience. And it was
and we talked to Haley, who worked in an ENT audiologist office for a while, and she was like, yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was, did you feel like you're in a tumble dryer? Yeah, it's...
And before Brandon finds the vlog.
it was necessary. Mm-hmm. Like, I had to have it done because, like, I had to get it fixed. I could not function. But, well, there you go, Brandon's got the vlog. Oh my God. Yeah, and ever since then, I've just tried to be extremely careful. Extremely careful. So, I've been pretty frazzled by it. Well, be careful. You know how this happened to me, by the way? Like, you know how I got vertigo? I had been laying on the floor, on my back. It was on the carpet. It didn't matter. And I don't know what I was doing. I had lifted my head or like done something, but I let my head hit back on the floor. Like I had been on the floor on my back and I had done something. I laid back, and I guess I laid back a little fast, and my head hit the carpet. And that was it. That was what did it. When I stood up, I almost went straight to the floor because I was so dizzy. And that was what knocked my crystals loose, and that's what started me on the path. So, like, it's kind of wild how easily it occurred. Yeah, as Sassy says, you literally jogged them loose. Correct. So, you gotta just... This kind of crap can just happen. You got little crystals in your ear, and if you hit your head too hard on a thing, I assume you could get it from... headbanging as well, which is one of the reasons when I see people moving their head like that, I'm like, oh my God, no. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. God should fix that glaring oversight in the next
There's
batch.
a few.
Yeah, there's a few things I'd be like, those should be spaced further apart. So yeah, there's some issues there, but just be careful.
Also, like your appendix.
Whoops, meant to remove that. Yeah, just be careful, everybody. And yeah, that's how it happened to me. I literally was just laying on the floor, and it's not like I slammed my head in the floor. That's not what happened. It wasn't like the most gentle, like laying back, but like I just kind of boom, and then I got up, and the whole world was doing this, and it was kind of terrifying. So please be careful. We 300 bits from Hograth with the chat pit star rain. And then 300 from Shia says, I can open anything. WMA files open. A bank vault open. Can't you offer me a challenge? You drag the WMA file to the VLC. You drag the bank vault to VLC. Also 300 from Shia says, my mother got vertigo by jumping into deep water with your earplugs on. The water pressure pushing the earplugs screwed her up.
Ooh.
The other thing I've noticed since I've had vertigo is that I get empathetic vertigo, I guess. Like, if I hear about things or if I see things, it's enough to, like, start triggering it a little bit. It's really strange. I don't know. It's a very,
You've
very
always
weird
been
feeling.
sensitive to things that make you dizzy, though. Even before that.
Wish Vivi Silverfire good luck on her doctorate today. That's right, it's happening.
Good luck on your doctorate.
I hope that you do well.
Vivi has her...
Give 'em hell!
What's it called when you defend it?
Defense.
Oh, that's good.
My case rests. Oh, hi-de-di-de-di-de-di. Good luck on your doctorate today. Ba-ba-da-ba. That's 5,000 from Light Rock. Yeah! Good luck. Vivi's,
dissertation, thank
dissertation.
you.
It's, defending your doctorate
Vivi has
today.
her dissertation today.
We also have 300 bits from Maris who says, for Vivi, we love you and you got this. And then also good vibes from Jodre. 500 bits from Raleigh says, all the luck and the good vibes of Vivi on her dissertation defense today. Defend that dissertation. That's the word. There's a lot of D words. But dissertation is the one.
Dissertation, defend, doctorate.
Yeah.
Ooh, Nicole sent me a Google file. Cool. I'm very excited. You've never heard this.
I have not. Anyway, I hope the dissertation goes well. And good vibes. I could not do that. I mean, partially because you have to like study a thing and know a thing.
And then
defend said thing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So not for me. But good luck to Vivi. I hope that goes well. We also got 25 months from Free Drummer. Thank you, Free Drummer. Man, I've had a good morning.
Good.
I've had a good morning. The talk about vertigo has got me feeling just a little sick, and now I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. Once I end breakfast stream and I stop thinking about it, I'll probably be okay again. Probably. Jill says, I'm sorry. It's fine. I'm sorry to hear that you've had some issues with vertigo. Son. I wouldn't wish vertigo on anyone. It's terrible and terrifying. And the problem is once you have it, once you've had vertigo, you have vertigo. So basically you get things like fixed, but once it's occurred once in a meaningful way, you just have it and it can come back. And it can come back at like weird times. And there's been times Mal and I have been sitting on the couch and Mal will be like, are you okay? And I'll be like, vertigo. And it just happens. And it's terrifying.
Like I was saying before the song though, you've always been kind of sensitive to things that make you dizzy. Like those through the tube things. Like at fun houses.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Even if you're not on the spinny tube room, like if they have the walkway where you're stationary and the room, the tube is
spinning.
go
straight to the floor.
Yeah, you can't do those. And you couldn't do those before this.
Ann says, have we seen the movie Vertigo, or is that a trigger? I haven't seen it. I don't know if I could, maybe. So, related, well, somewhat related. If anything I'm watching, like a web video, has something in it where there is, like if they're trying to emulate the feel of someone being dizzy, that's too much. Like I have a really hard time with that. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like even if I'm sitting and I'm stationary and my head's up straight, I mean those things help certainly. But like even if I'm in that position, if you know, with camera movements or whatever, they're trying to emulate the idea of feeling dizzy, the idea of movement, like that's usually enough to be like, oh, nope, can't do that. Ironically, there's a video online, and Jules may want to look this up. Message me, and I can send you this very specific video. But there's this doctor that developed certain movements and things to try and get like your ear crystals back into place. The stupid video opens. The video opens with them like doing an interview with a woman that's like, I didn't know how to explain it. I woke up in the night and the room was spinning. But when they do that interview, they overlay it with B-roll of the room spinning. And I'm like, what are you doing? People are clicking this video to get help, to try and figure out how to fix their stuff. And you're triggering it at the beginning of the video. So, you know, you have to click the video and then like scroll through the beginning because they're like, this is what vertigo's like. And it's like, yes, I know. That's why I'm here. Anyway, video itself is actually very helpful. It shows you how to do it. So, yes, Noah says the Epley maneuver. That is it. It is the.
You talked to your ENT about that too, so.
Yeah, it's the Epley Epley maneuver. Anyway, Mike Boyan says, "Good morning, Stephen George Chat. What does the 269 and 323 mean in the bottom left above the logo?"
Is that what they're at?
Yeah, that's our cups. That's our cups. It's a way for folks to interact with the stream through channel points. So
you can redeem your channel points for coffee or tea.
It's true. It's like a never-ending contest, but one that tea
is frequently winning.
Yeah. Like we've only had it implemented for a little bit of time, and you know, tea is it's not like a runaway contest. It's honestly, it's stayed about the same distance.
It just went up 2.
You know, I would love to see them be a little more even, but you know, there's just I think there's just at least lately been a lot more people on Team Tea than Team Coffee. So I think that's it. 30 Bits from Shire says, so when are all of Jules' dads going to fight for the throne of one true dad? Stephen George versus Grant Kirkhope versus John Petrucci. Highlander rules there can be only one. I look forward to fighting Grant Kirkhope. I've always wanted to. I've always thought about it. I'm like, you know what? If I had to fight one person, I think I'd like to fight that Banjo-Kazooie son of a gun. That's the guy. That's who I want to deck. Jules says I'm clipping that and sending it to him. It's so funny because I've always really liked Kirkhope's music, and then to see him active and stuff on Twitter has been really fun. There's been occasions where, you know, Mao has painted something from Banjo-Kazooie, and then you know, she'll tweet it and like someone will tag Grant Kirkhope, and then Grant Kirkhope will be like, oh, I love that. And that's nice. It's nice to see some level of interaction there. Anyway, you know, sorry, Grant. I'm the dad, Grant.
And Jules is, Dad, stop fighting.
You can all be my dad.
We'll just all play guitar.
All right, let's try and wrap up. His arms are like tree trunks. See, the thing is, I can hit people from further away because my arms are longer. It's true. Or I can use my legs, which are longer still. I can kick people before they get anywhere near me. That's how I've won every fight in my life.
How many fights?
Someone announces from far away, they're like, I'm coming to fight you, and then I kick them. And they're like, oh no, I didn't see that coming because you were so far away.
Thomas says, I can't wait to sumo you.
That's a real thing that's going to happen. I don't know when, but me and Thomas are going to real life sumo. When it's safe to breathe the same air. When we're going to film it, it's going to be a whole thing. Me and Thomas are going to sumo. Can't wait. I'm gonna pick Thomas up and throw him out of the ring. Just wait for it. Where was I? 25 months from Dan Bacon 2 says, oh boy, channel points. Can we get an option for hot chocolate? We've had a lot of people asking about hot chocolate. We're keeping it.
Sorry, Automod. Continue.
I don't like that. We've had a lot of people asking about hot chocolate. We're not quite ready to add it. I think it would trail. This is the only problem. I think it would trail behind coffee and tea. So we're starting with 2 for now. We might add it later on, but let's keep 2 for the beginning here. 500 bits from Ian Thay says, thanks to the good vibes. Vivi and I were grinning ear to ear. Also to the vertigo conversation. Sounds to me like Steven has a few crystals loose. My ear doctor said the same thing. Looking in my ear. There's something loose in here. Crystals? Screws. Anyway. Also, good vibes again.
Yeah.
Good. Say it straight to you. We have 300 bits from Chiron8472. I watched a Smarter Every Day video where they made a supersonic baseball cannon and had the baseballs for it donated by the Rocket City Trash Pandas. So I bought my nephew a shirt for Christmas that says Rocket City Trash Pandas. Trash panda being a loving term for raccoon. I haven't seen a trash panda in a long time. I don't really get them around here.
I might have seen them in a zoo, but I don't think I've ever seen one otherwise.
What?
Like out in the outside?
Are you serious? You've never seen a raccoon?
Yeah. Or possum.
Mallory, that can't be true. There's possums everywhere. A lot of them are dead. But there are possums everywhere.
I don't think I have.
We live in, like, possum country.
I know.
They're everywhere.
I saw a photo once.
We're drowning in possums.
One of my coworkers, when I was teaching, her son had one, and there was a photo of him just holding this possum, and he has, like, big leather working gloves on, just holding a possum, like, in their living room. They were gonna raise it.
On that note, on raising possums, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for being here this morning. I hope you've learned a lot, or at least had a lot of fun. Or both. Heck, both would be great. The edutainment person in me.
The perfect song.
It's a very surrealist song. Things to announce coming up. Obviously, tomorrow night, we're back to Breath of the Wild. I don't remember what we were doing. I have no idea. We had been doing side quests and then, like, something?
Yeah.
Something. Yesterday, I spent a large portion of the day working on Morning Mario episodes. I might record a little bit more today. We'll see. I hope to have a vlog out today. We'll see. We'll see. It was a whole thing trying to get October 24th out. Like, man, I ran into some unforeseen problems that I had to think outside the box to solve, but I got that video out. Everything else should be relatively simple in comparison. But yeah, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Breath of the Wild. Otherwise, if you still haven't seen Mal's newest painting, check it out. It's of Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Bellchime Trail.
Bellchime Trail. And then...
it's the perfect autumn piece.
And I think that's about it. That's about it. Oh, we got a new episode of Among Us, which we actually recorded a long time ago and just hasn't been out yet. We have a new episode of Among Us.
Is it the one we did where we didn't know if someone was the imposter when they got evicted?
Yes. Where it's...
Evicted isn't quite the right word, but...
Evicted. Ejected. Ejection confirmation off.
Yeah.
Where you're not sure. Which actually, I think, I kind of like that better, honestly. I think that kind of makes the game more interesting.
Brandon says you didn't pay your space rent by doing your chores.
Oh no! That's someone floating through space slowly. Okay. I believe that's it. Thank you all for being here. Oh yeah, when is day 4000? Is that like tomorrow? It's soon. I don't know. It's pretty soon. I'm not sure like exactly when, but it might be tomorrow. Yeah, I knew that day 4000 was coming up. I just didn't know like when exactly. But it's like really close. It might be today. It might be today, it might be tomorrow. I don't know. Breath of the Wild night? Okay. Yeah, and Spider-Man. Alright. Thank you all. Have a wonderful Thursday.
There's one landlord among us.
Have a wonderful Thursday. We will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Breath of the Wild.